Hello everyone. So I've been having technical difficulties with my green screen and apps. These apps briefly making me want to blow my brains out. But besides that, this is what you're gonna get as far as backgrounds go because this is what I got. And today we're gonna talk about Freyr. Now the energies in the air right now with the coronavirus have been stifling. They've been suffocating. And they've been just god awful. But I think a lot of us spiritual people have been able to sidestep a lot of the fear that most people have accumulated as a result of the fears of what's happening. Also, the coronavirus has killed a lot of people, so it's nothing to laugh at, but the fear is definitely in the air. Now, this is going to be a video about Freyr. I've been working with Freyr for years. He's a god that you're not going to find a lot of information about, so let's talk about Freyr. What is Freyr? Who is Freyr? Freyr is a Vanir. You can say an Elven God that now lives with the Aesir, gods of consciousness. So Elven God usually associated with magic and nature. The Aesir, gods of consciousness, of order, what have you. Odin being the head of the Aesir. Freyr was given as a hostage once the Aesir won the war against the Vanir. And now when we think of the Vanir versus the Aesir, we're talking about gods of cycles and nature and change. And the cyclical idea of time against the gods of consciousness, of a little bit more of an idea of linear time. And the destruction of a creation eventually, and then it coming back in a new form. So the Vanir, their kind, the Light Elves, which are above the Aesir, actually will survive Ragnarok, will go on to not be inhibited by that Ragnarok, but to go on to experience more Ragnaroks. This kind of hints at a trans-dimensional nature to the Vanir and other gods. And Freyr is no exception. Now, Freyr is very much tied to planets like ours and dimensions of nature, other gods and spirits of nature, very much opposed to destruction. This god, Freyr, is a god of the harvest, fertility, and peace. His rune is Inguz, which is a fertility rune, a very masculine fertility rune. Has to do with gestation of masculine power, it working up before it is released. Of course, we have that equivalency in nature, as I'm sure that you understand me alluding to it. Freyr, on a personal level, though, his energy is far more peaceful than a lot of other beings that I work with. Freyr is that meadow, that tranquil note that is struck all at the same time with multiple birds singing at once, where you feel this transcendence in nature, through nature, to where you're in a higher form of nature. You feel the harmony. You don't just see the disunity, but you feel the harmony because all the pieces of nature come together to basically form this higher state of consciousness that you can experience. Freyr is also a god of war. So a lot of these facts are not going to be new to you if you know Freyr, but his main enemy is Surtur, fire giant, fire Jotun. It is said that on Ragnarok, Freyr is not a light elf, so he won't be escaping it, just like his sister Freyja. He will fight Surtur, and since he gave up his sword in a quest for a female Jotun, he will be fighting with his drinking cup, a drinking horn, and he will stab Surtur in the eye, and they will both die. But think of if Freyr hadn't given up his sword, he could have destroyed Surtur pretty easily if he could kill him with a drinking horn. I think that hints at the power of nature and the fundamental fact that destruction cannot exist without nature, and nature can't exist without destruction. And them killing each other in the end, or at least, maybe not literally, but an equivalent of that. Hints at the power of both sides, but really I think Freyr is much more powerful than Surtur. I think peace is inherently more powerful than chaos. But that's my influence from Freyr. Is that you don't know peace without chaos, you don't know chaos without peace. I understand that. But experience, realization, enlightenment, those are above the destruction Surtur brings. Those are higher levels of consciousness that, of course, you need the destruction aspects below, but they are higher, so they are built into. When working with Freyr, I found that he really likes a lot of different kinds of offerings. He likes things like milk. He likes wheat. He likes bread. He likes olive oil. He likes flowers. A lot of stuff that's very much of the earth, obviously, but of human effort in relation to the earth. Like milk from a cow. If you milk a cow, or perhaps you harvest something, that's very valuable to Freyr. If you offer him something that you grew, that's a very good offering. And there's this old story that there was this one Freyrsman that Freyr liked so much that this is somewhere in Norway, I believe, that there's this one spot where this guy is buried that he will not allow snow to fall. And that really gets at his green nature. He doesn't like to see something not living. He doesn't like to see the in-between places sometimes. He's very much a god of life, of the living part of nature. And he's very much a producer of the fruits that we gather from nature. There's some farmers today that still, give him offerings, and, in a variety of different names. He might be Ing to some, or another name, or there's a number of names people know him by. Freyr's the only one I've really attached myself to. It's not like Odin, where Odin has different functions. It's Freyr's this very potent, very singular force in my mind. And he doesn't seem to have a lot of diversity in his nature. Like gods, like Odin. Very diverse. I got this pendant, I guess you can call it an amulet or a pendant. I got this quite a while ago. It has Freyr on there. Oh, I just made the camera go crazy. It has Freyr on there. I've been meaning to get a statue. I actually carved a little statue for him. But then now this is very ironic. I did this fire ritual. And I had Odin, Thor, and Freyr. And I accidentally basically consumed Freyr's statue accidentally with the fire. I tried to guide the fire along through the different dimensions I had laid out in cornmeal and around the different gods. But my trenches where I put the gasoline were not too well dug when it comes to me creating these little trenches with cornmeal. Very interesting ritual because people don't usually do this in Asatru or, in the Nordic shamanism that I'm a part of. But Freyr's statue was consumed, and it felt more like an offering, like I was sending it to him, ironically through the form that he would, through a piece of the form like Surtur that is his enemy. But that offering was nonetheless sent to him in that way. And also Odin, interestingly enough, which I have over here to my right, was also kind of burned black. But Odin very much intact, Thor very much intact. The little statue of Freyr, not so much. Since then, I've been using this pendant, focusing on it to call upon him, offering before it, doing certain offerings to it. I'm looking to get another statue very soon. But honestly, if you get attached to something small like this, and you have this for a god or spirit, you don't have to have something big, really. And I feel more attached to this than I can actually wear him with me. Well, he's more like him wearing me when I think about it. But when it comes to a relationship between the gods or spirits and us, I feel it feels more of a connection. So, I wouldn't focus too much on having the right statue, saying the right words, but what you do need to do to get close to Freyr is think about him in nature. Go out to nature, think about him. Go next to a stream, go next to a creek, say a few words, gather some sticks. Form a Valknut right next to the stream or the creek. The three triangles. I'm sure you can look it up very easily. I've just explained what the Valknut is before. I think of it as the three main areas of manifestation for the Norse gods and the Jotun and the Vanir. The Jotun at the bottom, Jotunheim, one triangle, another triangle for the Vanir, another triangle for the Aesir, but they're all interlocked. You create this with sticks next to a stream. Maybe gather some flowers, put it in the center, call upon Freyr. Say, I offer this to Freyr. May you bring peace to my life. May you bring harvest to my life. May I have the bountiful goods that you can provide in my life. And you can interpret that in a lot of different ways. You can do something like that very easily, and that's more appropriate than even doing something on the inside. Freyr's not one, it doesn't seem like to me, to really focus on method as much as genuine, just like most gods, genuine love and worship, and also genuine understanding of who he is. That green piece that's in the center of a meadow with no humans around, just you, Freyr, and nature itself. Now, I've made other videos about Freyr with other information, but I just kind of wanted to get that out in relation to, some things that have been going on in the world today. And honestly, I've never felt closer to Freyr because, a lot of people have been suffering, but my life has been very bountiful because of my relationship to my spirits and gods. And, I can't discount that. I've been incredibly lucky and incredibly fortunate with many things in my life right now. And the gods and spirits are definitely the root of that. So I just wanted to say some stuff about Freyr, say that he's a great god to work with. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, shoot them down in the comment section below on YouTube. If you want to contact me, message me, and ask me questions about Freyr, or tell me that I'm wrong, or just have conversations with me in general, go to www.facebook.com/hunter.salazar. And then you can friend me, message me, whatever you want, and you can contact me there. Thank you very much for watching. I hope this background hasn't been too weird with that really green in the center, and then it's a really cool background. That's why I love it. I love it. But like I said, the green screen ain't working out too good right now, mainly because of the app. At any rate, thank you very much for watching. May you all be at peace, and hail Freyr.